So some of you may know I live in a single family house. This is the first time my wife and I, since we've been married, have rented a single family house. We rented a double family, or whatever they call those, dual family. But this is the first time single family. I'm cutting my grass now. There's the lawnmower. Our house is not that big, but it's nice. 2 bedrooms, basement. Older house, probably 40s, 50s, I don't know, 60s. Older neighborhood here in the Dayton area, but it's ours and it's great. The yard is actually might be on more land than the house, because I know it takes longer to cut in the back. So I'm cutting right now, and everything about this house generally reminds me of, takes me back to my childhood. Like I'm cutting the grass and I see this. Oh man, this is so beautiful. I used to find these things and catch them. I don't know if they're caterpillars or what type of animal they are. I think these are mulberries, but whatever kind these are, you know, just it's taking me back to my childhood. Of course, cutting the grass. I used to cut the grass for my grandfather at his house, at his other house in his location, his garden across from the other location house, and all of this grass cutting reminds me of that, of course. And like I told you, I might have posted a video, this right here. You see a lot of grass on it now, but this sidewalk looked like it was just basically dirt when I got here. I did a lot of edging, and it wasn't perfect, but it definitely brought out the sidewalk. And if I haven't posted that, I'll post it later, because I'm gonna post this one now. Look at these mulberries in our yard on our property. And again, well, the house is not ours, we are renting, and it's ours now. We take ownership. We're taking prideful ownership, keeping it clean. Got a lot of work to do, got a lot of trimming to do, and a lot of things that we have to do, but it's ours and it's great. Of course, you may have known about the tragedies here in Dayton, so I haven't been able to do a lot here at the house for the last week because I've been out capturing footage. You may have seen the Sinbad comedian footage on the site. And here, let you take a look at me, sweaty, cutting the grass. So, let's see. There you go. But it's a lot that's going on, guys. And with that Sinbad footage and some of the footage I captured, it's to me it's award-winning. And sometimes I take myself, let's get some light in there. Sometimes I take my stuff for granted. I act like it's not something great until I go to a news station or whatever, but it's great even before I get to the news station. But I got some great things coming up. Speaking of news stations, speaking of television stations, broadcast stations, also I have a course that I wanted to do back in 2011, 2012, it might have been 2010, how to get internet hits and broadcasting views. I'm actually going to put that together because my resume is so much bigger with grabbing hits and getting hits, broadcast views, and even cash for my content. And it's so much bigger than it was in 2011, 12, 10, 9, 11, 12, 13, and it's feeling great. And again, with this disaster in Dayton, I'm not one that takes advantage of a disaster, but I do want to help the community, let the community get their voice. And this spans, it's the black community, the white community, the Hispanic community. Everybody was affected. Even the upper class people were affected. And it was crazy. Actually, it's crazy. It's a great thing they came together, but it was so crazy to have a tornado like this in an area like this, and it's never happened before. I mean, some of the footage, I don't know if I'm going to decide to upload this video or will I edit and add. I think I'm just going to upload this video. No music, no anything, unless I can add it next on YouTube. But the footage is, man, it's so crazy, so destructive. It's, you know, but when people come together, and it looked like a movie. It looked like a movie set, a destruction, the end of the world movie set around here in a lot of neighborhoods in Dayton. But keep watching my site, you'll see some. I'm going to definitely put them out with music and let people see. And again, I just want people to see. I want people to express their views, and because it's like, okay, I know this happens in Wyoming or somewhere wherever the tornado alley is. I guess we're part of that. But it happens, and then you see the destruction, and then you forget it in a week. But living 5 miles away from it, I mean, literally, I was here at the house, and I just decided to go to Cincinnati to the studio, but just 5 miles up, that's north pretty much, 5 miles up, not in the sky, but 5 miles up from my location, 5 to 6 miles, I'm on exit 51, on exit 57, total destruction. I mean, streets, malls, gas stations, and you may have seen some of that on my site. But anyway, so it's like, it's just, you don't believe it, you know. But and actually, well, what my point is I went down to Cincinnati, but I don't know if I would have. I took a little piece of the rain as it was raining on. It happened on Memorial Day, Memorial Night, and I don't know if I would have heard all this. Would I got outside, tried to do a storm? Would I heard any announcement? Would it came over my phone? I don't know. I didn't hear any announcement because I was heading down towards Cincinnati. It takes about 30 miles to get out of range of Dayton, so maybe that's why nothing came over my phone. But I know the next morning I started seeing tornadoes in Dayton, so or the next later on that night. So anyway, who knows what I would have done? Would I've came out? Would I've saw the funnel cloud? Would I've been a storm chaser? I don't know. But one thing I know is that also reminded me, my grandma used to take us down to the basement when we had tornado warnings, but I've never seen a tornado, never seen destruction. And I know I went off tangent a little bit, but I'm going to share that destruction because I think people need to help. I know FEMA's coming. I don't know if the president's coming. I know the emergency EMA, or I know they're coming. And they're going to assess the situation. There's been people here for the last 2 weeks assessing the situation. But anyway, let's get back to my point. This yard, it just reminds me of my childhood. And some great things are happening. Some of the things I've always dreamed of in my childhood, they're happening now. Since I've captured that footage, since I moved to Dayton. And I've had some great things happen for me while I was in Cincinnati. True, of course. I've been everywhere around the world. Well, my content's been around the world, but this is another level I wouldn't have dreamed. So it's coming, guys. All right, Greg Reese, let's get back to why I started this video. I was cutting the grass and I was looking at this. Is this a mulberry bush? So I forgot what these things are. So I don't know if they're caterpillars or inchworms or... Here, let me search. Just hang with me. 7 minutes. I'll get off here in about 9 minutes. Thanks for hanging. Let's see. I'm gonna call them caterpillars on the mulberry bush. So you watch those for a while, guys, and give me a chance to Google this, and then I'll let you go. It might be 10 minutes by the time I get it. Just watch those for a minute. There we go. Caterpillars on mulberry trees. It looks like that might be it. That, yeah, down there. Can you see that? Possibly. So what are these? Let's see. Silkworms. Are these silkworms? Looks a little bit different than silkworms, but they may be silkworms. You tell me. I'm gonna look more. Silkworms, possibly. What are these tents? It says. Etymology. Let's type that in. I probably should know this, but I don't. Silkworm tents.
According to Scientific Psychic, there are many varieties of mulberry trees. Silkworms will only eat the leaves of the white mulberry tree. Silk production, or sericulture, has been practiced in China for at least 5,000 years. Domesticated silkworms are entirely dependent on humans and no longer occur naturally in the wild.
Wow. So I guess these are possibly silkworms and no longer occur naturally in the wild. Well, I'm not sure what that means. because I didn't put these things here. Anyway, guys, all right, 10 minutes, I'm out of here. Feeling like childhood right here with my grandfather. We're gonna look at these a little bit and see what we get. But I'm pretty sure this is a mulberry tree, so must be silkworms.